But that's the beautiful part of this country, though, is even an idiot like me can make something happen. So if I can do it, you can do it.
Oliver Anthony speaks out for the first time since the mega viral sensation, his song, The Rich Men North of Richmond. And the more he talks, the more people are falling in love with him, including me. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. And that's exactly what we're doing today, highlighting the amazing work of freedom fighters. This one is Oliver Anthony. You know all about him. His mega viral song, The Rich Men North of Richmond, is just taking over the hearts of our country. It's the #1 song in America. He's got 6 of the top songs on iTunes now. So people are finding his older music, loving it. I think it's an incredible phenomenon. And we're not going to talk about the Rich Men North of Richmond. We've already done that. You know about it. I just did a reaction video to it a couple days ago, so you can find that if you want. Which, by the way, update, I believe that song is now at 11 or 12 million views just on the single YouTube channel. It's just escalating. So he has made his first video direct to camera after the song goes viral. So in the previous reaction video where I was talking about the song itself, we showed some clips of a video he made the night before that song came out. So he had no idea what was coming. And the video now, in response to the song and the country, the world's beautiful, loving reaction to it, he's sharing some thoughts, his heart. And I have to tell you, the more the guy speaks, the more he just seems so real, so genuine, so on point. He earns more and more of my respect. So I want to take a look at that video with you now. In this video, it's entitled Moving Forward, found on his YouTube channel, Oliver Anthony Music. Let's take a look.
I'm driving back home. I had a crazy time in Currituck. I always have fun in Currituck, whether it's 30 people or it's 12,000 people. The Moore's Farm Market is just, there's nothing else like it.
Notice his red beard. That's a good quality, I think.
So thanks to them for putting it on. Thanks to all y'all for coming out. There were people who flew in, people that drove down from up north. Mind blown. And
which is just interesting and obvious that he's used to playing shows at like a farmer's market with 20 people, and now there's people deliberately traveling into the farmer's market to see his performance. I saw some video clips of it, and doesn't look like a normal farmer's market. It's really cool.
I mean, hell, we signed and took pictures a good 4 hours after the show. And it wasn't like people just came up and shook my hand. They come up and they told me about the battles they've been dealing with, depression and suicide and money. And, those are real problems.
That's not surprising to hear that people are, when they come out to see him, instead of just getting a picture or signing something, they're wanting to share their heart, their problems or challenges that they carry in their heart with this man, which is just a testament to how much of a chord his song, the message in the song struck with people. It's now like, it's struck the chord. So now people are able to emote and process things that maybe they otherwise didn't have an outlet for. And of course, people wanting to share that with them in person is no surprise and a beautiful thing.
This song is not something that it's not like it's some masterpiece I've created. It's the masterpiece and the emotions of the song. It already exists within you.
And I like that. That's so true. The masterpiece of the song already exists within you. That's why people love it. It's helping them to connect to something that's already inside of them. That's called healing. That's called growth, which is pretty cool. When he says things like that, it just really paints a picture that he's a deep, insightful dude. Doesn't have a degree in psychology. He's just a deep, insightful dude, maybe an old soul in a new world.
Sometimes it just takes the right song coming along to let those out. But my question to you is, when Oliver Anthony's long gone and forgotten about, what can you do in your own life to maintain this energy, this positivity, this unity that I see among people? Like have never seen before.
Words of a true leader. And I might be accusing the guy of being things he's not yet. Those are, I might be accurate, but those are words of a true leader. Instead of saying something like, hey, you need me, keep worshiping me, keep paying attention to my music because you need me. He's like, no. He's handing the power back to the people. Like after Oliver Anthony's long gone, or just now while he's still alive, is what can you do in your own life? What positivity can you do now that you've got this connection, this awareness, this energy moving? What can you do in your own life to perpetuate the love, unity, and positivity? That's a very empowering question he's asking people.
What are the next steps to make life better for people? What can you do for your neighbor? There used to be such a strong sense of community in this country. And you still see it a lot in small town America, but even there it's dying out. Things just change too quickly these days, But humans have the ability to possess such overwhelming compassion. And it seems like we've really let ourselves focus too much on hate.
Yeah, and that's true. And how beautiful is it when we have a piece come out, his song in this case, that brings out the best in people? Isn't that cool? It's so refreshing than whatever, like Disney releasing something that brings out the worst in people. It's like when we see things we don't want, that we don't stand for, we know they violate human morality. Sometimes they violate children and children's minds, sometimes their bodies. That can bring out an ugliness in us, which, by the way, some of that ugliness, maybe all of it, it's warranted. It's like this warrior energy comes out, this warrior energy comes out, sometimes sword in hand, that kind of thing, screaming, standing for what we stand for, crusading against what's trying to violate us. Cool, that's warranted. And balancing that out with something that compels the best to come out of us, which I think this song has, it's struck that chord beautifully.
I mean, humans can manifest wicked amounts of hate. We've seen it all throughout world history, even in the last 150, 200 years. I mean, just some of the atrocities, the genocides, the war. We live in an era where we have everything. There were wars fought over spices.
I'd like to be in that one.
People died over spices. And now we can sit on the couch and we can order whatever spice we want from the comfort of our phone.
Get to go to war over gender.
But we still want to fight. We still want to hate each other. We want to find reasons to hate each other. And I'm no Dr. Phil, but I just feel that in this moment in time, when so many people are feeling the same frustrations, it would be wonderful to capitalize on that and just use that positive energy to help other people in your life. Maybe people that are different than you, people that you wouldn't normally connect with. I can tell you from my experience in the jobs I've had and all the people I've talked to, everyone has a really interesting story if you just give them the time to talk.
I think that's true.
It's easy to walk down the sidewalk by somebody and look down at the ground, look at your phone. But that really is a big part of the problem.
And just my 2 cents on that. It mentions everyone has an interesting story. I agree with that. And I think when you get deep enough with someone, you find we have a lot in common with everyone. Most people. I know there's deranged maniacs out there where maybe we don't have common ground, but even people on the other side who were used to thinking, well, we have nothing in common. We actually do. A place I think it would be great to get to, and doing our best little by little, easier to say than to do. But instead of being in this sort of posture of agreement, disagreement with people, if we can look at someone and listen to them and understand them, connect to them, even when we disagree with their politics, their value, what they think we should do is we should definitely do communism, people like that. Instead of just having our agenda, I'm going to agree with you or disagree with you, our agenda is connect with that person. Cool, you think communism is a good idea. Tell me more about you. Getting to understand them as a person, when we go deep enough, we find that common ground because we're all humans at the end of the day. And I think when we can do that, we're actually connecting with people rather than just creating more division because we disagree with people. And of course, the disclaimer on that is, of course, still have the freedom lover, warrior energy where we won't stand for children being violated. We won't stand for things that violate our constitutional rights. Of course, I'm not saying lay down and acquiesce to that in the name of just connecting with people. But I think we can stand for all those things and be fierce warriors when needed, while also doing a lot more connecting than we currently do. I know, at least for me, that's true. I can do a lot more connecting.
We're also disconnected from each other. We need to find a way to take this energy from this anomaly of a song, from this stupid guy that, I mean, look, I appreciate the compliments, but I'm not a good musician. I hardly know my way around the guitar. My singing's okay. That's not what made this. It's you and the struggles in your life.
In 2 miles,
that's what's made this
take the
what it
interchange
is.
on the right.
By the way, you can hear his like Google Maps or whatever he's using. He's got it set to the voice of a female British woman. I don't know what that means, but it's just important to note.
Find a way to start fixing those problems.
I like how I said female British woman. I guess I'm just unconsciously like, well, you have to distinguish, is this woman male or female? Welcome to 2023.
Find a way to start having good conversations with people that live around you. That's all I want out of this.
Awesome. I think a beautiful message from someone that we're, as a world, falling in love with. We probably think we're falling in love with him, but we're probably more so falling in love with his message. And more so than falling in love with his message, we're actually falling in love with our own truth, our own feelings, our own experiences, because those are being reflected to us through this mirror who happens to be named Oliver Anthony. And his music, his speeches like this, they're him holding up a mirror, which I think is really cool. But before we end at this weekend's farmers market performance that he did, so, you know, now at that point, his song, The Rich Men North of Richmond, was already #1 song. So he's doing, I believe it was his first performance post-virality. He opened up his performance by reading a Bible verse, which I think is pretty cool. And the verse really resonated with me. I want to show it to you here.
Before we start singing, and I mean we, because I hope y'all are going to be singing too. I just had something I felt compelled to share with you. This is in Psalm 37, 12 through 20. The wicked plot against the righteous and gnash their teeth at them, but the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he knows their day is coming. The wicked draw the sword and bend the bow, to bring down the poor and needy, to slay those whose ways are upright. But their swords will pierce their own hearts, and their bows will be broken. Better the little that have righteousness than the wealth of many wicked. For the power of the wicked will be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The blameless spend their days under the Lord's care, and their inheritance will endure forever. In times of disaster, they will not wither. In days of famine, they will have plenty. But the wicked will perish. Though the Lord's enemies are like the flowers of the field, they will be consumed, and they will go up in smoke.
I love it. Goosebumps. Thank you for watching this with me. Thank you for following the story of Oliver Anthony. I think whether he wanted it or not, he is becoming a voice of the people at this time. How long it continues, I don't know. I don't care. But as long as it continues, I'm going to be a fan. I'm going to be continuing to monitor the journey.